Hi Lance, good afternoon, thank you for coming today. From the results I obtained last meeting, I could prepare the guidelines here for your nutrition. Thank you for your map, it was really good. I could have worked everything, and now I will explain to you what I did exactly, and we will go through the whole guideline plan so that if you have any questions you can ask me during this meeting. I calculated your energy balance. Basically, the energy balance is the relationship between the intake of food and output of energy. So, if you train 5 times a week, you need amount of energy. If you train 3 times a week, you need another amount of energy. So, it's going to be different. Now, since you train 3 times a week and you might have a game during the weekend, I could finalize that you need to consume 2466 calories a day. Now, that's the energy balance because you have a busy lifestyle and you train 3 times a week, maybe you have a game during the weekend, so that's the ratio when you train 3 to 5 times a week. Now, your basal metabolic rate, let's say you have nothing to do today, alright? It's calculated from your weight and your height. That resulted in 1591 calories. So, let's say, for example, you're injured today and you're not going to train. So, you don't have to eat those 2500 calories, you eat less. Why? Because you have nothing, you have no output energy, you just have the input. So, if you don't want to gain weight, in that case, you don't consume that much calories. Now, when it came to the body composition results, in the graph here, as you can analyze, normally essential fat in men, which is really good but it's also unhealthy, it's 2 to 5%. Athletes, it's 6 to 13%. Fitness, like having a good fitness level, is 14 to 17%. Acceptable is 18 to 24%. Now, you're in the acceptable zone, that's why I put it in red. This isn't bad for your health, but it can be better. Okay, so just to keep that in mind, that you need to avoid like junk food and stuff like that, and fatty foods which might be unhealthy for your body. You need to aim to decrease the amount of fat in your body and obviously increase muscle and stay more or less in that weight of 62 as resulted in the first when we took the weight in our first meeting. Now, proper nutrition is always important. One, to maintain your weight, feeling healthy when you're playing a game. Sometimes you do feel, for example, a bit dizzy or strengthless, no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, that comes from poor nutrition, hydration. So, very important that not you only eat healthy, but vitamins, you consume vitamins, etc. And also the time you take, you eat. For example, you cannot have a game at 5 in the evening and you eat everything 8 in the morning. You have to split the meals into a number of meals before the game. Apart from that, it will improve your mood, etc. So, good nutrition, if you're going to, even when you wake up, you're going to feel stronger. Exactly. Now, look at your training program. So, we are saying that you train 3 times a week. Train Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now, it means that Tuesday and Thursday are off. Now, as we already discussed, when you have a training session, since you train 3 to 5 times a week, you should consume 2500 calories approximately, okay? Now, the metabolic rate reacts to different types of exercise. So, let's say session 1 is an endurance session. So, you're going to run a lot, do a lot of sprints, maybe changing direction, shooting. So, there's a lot of energy output, as we already said. Now, during your off day, you don't have so much activity, so the metabolic rate will be low. I mean, you're not going to burn any calories. So I wanted to keep that in mind. That, for example, if one day you have a training session, you yes consume those calories, but when you have an off day, you don't. For example, then when it came to the game, the number of calories went up. You can see it also in the guidelines here. So over here, it can be noticed that the final workings for the game was 3,400. So they increase the difference. The kind of activity you're going to do will affect the amount of calories you must consume. Apart from food, okay, this subject might be sometimes a little bit ignored, but it's very important. Hydration is very essential. We already lose a lot of water from sweat, respiration, etc., etc. Right? So it's important that you have enough water in your body. Why? Because otherwise, if you become hydrated, one, you can have you can faint, feel dizzy, etc., etc. Plus, it also reduces the amount of blood circulating around the body. So it's important to try to drink at least 2 liters of water every day. Now, if you have a game, I would suggest that you start drinking from early in the morning, so when it comes to the game, you feel strong and prepared. Now, when it comes to other drinks, for example, such as isotonic drinks, I like to suggest isotonic drinks. These can be consumed before a game. Why? Because they give you electrolytes, they give a little bit of sugar, or also you can take them after the warm-up. Why? Because you will do warm-up, you're going to lose a lot of water, sugar, salts, etc., etc., and you need to replenish the calories and sugars, salts you lost. So that can be helpful. Now, if you feel good without taking the isotonic drink, well, that's good because you're reducing the amount of sugar intake. Okay, but then it's up to you whether you feel the need or not. Something else which is really good as well when it comes to hydration, cranberry juice. It's a good source of carbohydrates. So, for example, after a game, you play the whole game, it was really sunny, you lost a lot of water. Drinking cranberry juice will help you consume carbs while you're hydrating also your body. But the best method of hydration is water, not like fizzy drinks, etc., etc. So, if you want to really feel good, you must drink water. And the minimum requirement is of 2 liters. Now, you might ask me, for example, in the guidance, why we didn't include such vitamins, for example, B12, you might find iron, etc., etc. Now, there are 2 types of nutrients. We have the macronutrients and micronutrients. The macronutrients are carbohydrates, fat, and protein. Now, when it comes to the nutrition guidelines, I base that on the macronutrients. The micronutrients are food chains which are found in the macronutrients. For example, in meat, we find fat and protein. But then there are these macronutrients, for example, the B12, which is a nutrient found in that, which is also helpful for you. For example, a squeezed orange juice has carbs and maybe a little bit of protein, right? But it also contains vitamin C. So in that case, vitamin C is the micronutrient. I mean also why? I mean, it's important that when I'm eating, I care about micronutrients. These vitamins and minerals basically help with a lot of things. For example, the immune system. I'm sure that you have here, maybe from the older generation, they will take a lot of vitamin C because it helps with you not getting sick. Fine, that's true, because it helps with the immune system. They give you also other benefits, for example, with blood clotting and other functions of the body. So it's important that when you're eating something, you also give importance to the micronutrients as well. Here, I have prepared the nutritional guidelines plan. You have 2 weeks, but they are different from each other. So, this is the first day. This is Monday, alright, the first session. You have 2,473 calories. You should have an intake of 2,470 calories, alright, more or less. Basically, the difference between week 1 and week 2 is that in week 1, you want to aid performance, you want to play the match, you want to feel fit, you want to feel strong, so you need to consume this amount of calories. How much your body needs to have enough energy to obviously perform. Now, the second week, since as we already discussed, you might want to lose a bit of weight. I gave a deficit in the calories intake. So let's say that from February or March, when games coming up.
Sorry, sir.
So I can like be a little bit, decrease a bit my performance, but I also decrease my to lose weight, exactly. So when it came to the second week, so I also show you the workings. As I wrote here in red, due to weight loss, we will have a deficit of 300 calories. For session 1 and 2, it means that Monday and Wednesday, I gave you 300 calories less. So that way you will be burning 2,400 calories, but you will be eating 2,400. That means we'll have 300 calories a day. So your weight will go down. Now, when it came to Friday, since the coach still wants to play you, we'll do that deficit of 200 calories. Now, when it came to the game, you will still eat the same. Why? Because it's game day and the coach needs you to perform. Yes, he wants you to perform. But Monday and Wednesday you can reduce a bit. When it comes to the off day, I would stick somewhere close to the 1,600 calories. Why? Because if you will be eating 2,000 calories on the off days, but Monday and Wednesday you'll be doing a sacrifice eating 200 calories less, then it will be useless because you will still be gaining weight. Right? So to go through the nutritional plan guidelines I have prepared, there are several meals: the breakfast, the mid-morning snack, the lunch, the pre-training meal, pre-training snack, post-training snack, and post-training meal. Now, very important, the pre-training meal. Most definitely skip this, but it's very, very important. Now, just to give you a brief idea, the breakfast is based on simple carbs, a lot more sugar than complex carbs, protein, because we might include milk, eggs, etc., etc. Then the mid-morning snack is also based on simple carbs. It could be either fruit, yogurt, etc., etc., and protein, which comes from sources such as milk. Then when it comes to lunch, the afternoon, 11 o'clock maybe, okay, or 12 in the afternoon, we switch to complex carbs. Why? Because complex carbs are carbs which last longer than the simple carbs. They are not sugars. We get them from whole grain products such as brown pasta, whole grain wraps, etc., etc., protein, and also a source of fat. Right? Before the training, we also stick to complex carbs. Why? Because you need these macronutrients to last for the training session, and protein. Then for the session, we switch again to simple carbs. Why? Because you need instant energy quick. Before the game, this could be either a banana, could be a bar, or cranberry juice, etc., etc. After the session, we also want a source of simple carbs. It could come from fruit, for example, a fruit smoothie. You take it immediately after the training or game or whatever you have. The dinner post-training meal is very important to be made up of protein and healthy fat. Okay, so this comes from meat. Try to avoid excess carbs, such as you, for example, last time you told me you take pasta after training. That pasta, which is carbohydrates, if not used, it will turn into fat. So you need to avoid it. If we start working on these little things, I'm sure that the body composition result, next time we do it, it will be better. Okay? When it came to the other sessions, I based the same program. Now, when it came to the game, as we spoke already, you have more calorie intake. Now, more or less, the program was, the source of the food was more or less the same. In the morning, breakfast and mid-morning snack, they were based on simple carbs and protein. When it came to the lunch and pre-game meal, we based more on complex carbs, protein and fat. Pre-game snack is simple carbs. For example, I gave you cranberry juice. We can take that before going for warm-up, and between the warm-up and the game. And there is also a granola bar which you can take while you're traveling from the clubhouse to the game. After that, prepare with you a few dried nuts. Dried prunes, pruna, rice cakes, and you can also buy the banana milk and you take after the game. Okay? In the evening, a meat source. I suggested tuna, some broccoli, as it has a source of carbohydrates and after decay. You need a little bit, and also high in protein. And I also added a small dessert, which is the protein balls, for example. These can be made homemade. If done homemade, it's much better. You take one serving as a reward after a whole week. Okay. Then, for example, in the week 2, I removed a few of the unhealthy amino acids. Some foods that we cannot avoid, for example, excess yogurt, etc. Right? Apart from the nutritional recommendations plan that I have prepared, there are also supplements you can take to help you with performance, and also you might feel better. Apart from the nutritional recommendation plan that I have prepared, you can also take other supplements in the market. Now, I don't agree with most of the products that are in the market, such as protein shakes. Why? Because we don't know what is in the model, despite of the like protein, high in protein, low in fat, low in carbs. We are never sure of what's in the mix. But there are products such as glucosamine tablets that they help you with joint problem. It strengthens your joints and bones. Also, the BCAA helps with recovery. So let's say these are also, you can buy these also on tablets from pharmacies or health shops. These help the muscle to recover faster. Let's say you have a tough week of training, maybe you will have a game, and the coach will push you now to enhance recovery and also increase a little bit muscle growth. Why? Because you're recovering more, so you can train more. You take these BCAA tablets. Always refer to the pharmacist to give you the exact amount you should consume, especially at your age, to make sure that there are no problems. In sports psychology, as you can see in this graph here, we have 6 stages that we usually follow. We have the pre-complementation, complementation, determination or preparation, action, relapse when you go back, and then you have to do maintenance and you start again from complementation. I feel that you are in the 3rd stage, which is the preparation, where you can here approach me and you want to improve your nutritional plan so that you perform better. Now, when you start doing this, you will move to the action plan. Now, in order to avoid relapse, I want feedback regarding the nutrition program. I want to see that you are following it. If you want to change something, you let me know. And we have to keep in touch. From now on, I want to set up a Google Doc, like a food diary, and you take what you add, or if you change something, you let me know. So I can check what you are eating and what not, and if there's something we need to change, we change. Obviously, we're doing this for the benefit, for your own benefit, to improve your performance. We'll keep in touch during the week. At the end of the week, on Sunday, I will text you, see how you're doing. If there could be the possibility that you are not feeling well or not feeling prepared from a nutritional point of view, you let me know. We set up another meeting and we change things. Now, just to set up an appointment for future reference, in today's month, we'll be meeting again to take the weight tests again, weight, height. We take the 7-point caliper skin fold test to see if there's any progress. I mean, from a weight point of view, fat, etc. And then also, if you, for example, the coach introduces a new session, we will increase the number of calories. If the coach reduces a session, let's say in April you finish the league, then we have to adjust things, right? So we always stay on the maintenance. We stay maintaining that weight, or else we reduce the weight as we discussed. But then it's up to you, depending your goal at that period of time. Okay? So that's all from my side. This is the nutrition plan. You can take it with you, and we'll keep in touch. Thank you very much.